A gorgeous day for baseball here at Cho Airport Field as the Tom Sox open up June with a duel with the Woodstock River Bandits, seeking their first win of the young season. Should be a great game this afternoon. We thank you for joining us for this one. I'm Daniel Stein alongside my partner Landon Weaver, and we're going to get you right into the action here. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Eli DeRossi Citron is taking the mound for the Charlottesville Tom Sox, and he's about to deliver his first pitch, which is a ball outside to the River Bandits leadoff man, Jake Corville. Had to get this one going right away as our Wi-Fi always kind of going in and out here, but got some connection now. It's a 1-0 count here to start off this one. Second pitch to Corville is driven out into the right center field gap, and that's going to split the outfielders. Here's the right fielder, Bristow, who fumbled it for a second, but Corville is in with a sliding double to lead off this one.
Talk about a statement, Daniel. A standing double on the first hit of the day. Corville showing why he's their leadoff man. From Wingate, played 52 games last season, batted .304, 29 RBIs on 55 hits throughout the season. Just incredible numbers.
Brings up Christian Toledo to the plate. A senior from Wayland Baptist. Bats righty, will stand in against DeRossi Citron. First pitch from the redshirt sophomore, taken outside. Toledo showed bunt, but pulled it back. No hits yet on the young season for Toledo, but a pair of walks. Played in 9 games for Wayland Baptist this past season, accumulating a home run on 7 hits. Second pitch to him, popped up high into near foul territory in right field. Bristow calls off the second baseman, Velez, to make the catch for the game's first out.
Corville smart to stay at second there.
And just not deep enough to tag up. Brings up Will Tippett, the shortstop for the Bandits. Tippett from University of South Carolina, hitting third in this one. He'll bat righty against the right-hander, DeRossi Citron. Tom Sox come into this game 0-1. They lost the home opener yesterday to Harrisonburg. First pitch from DeRossi Citron misses outside for a ball. On the other side, you have the River Bandits, who were able to win their first game yesterday versus Strasburg by a score of 5-2. There's been so much rain in the Charlottesville area and this kind of area in Virginia here over the past couple of days. There's been a lot of delays. The Tom Sox original opener was rained out. That was supposed to be on the road against Culpeper a couple days ago. But here they are in their second game. Here's a 1-0 count from DeRossi Citron. A fastball hits the zone for a strike. Be a 1-1 count here with 1 out. Still no score early in this one.
Yeah, you want to go back to their win against Strasburg, talking about Woodstock. Eldridge pitched a save and hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th to give the River Bandits the win there.
Swing and a miss on the off speed, and it's 1-2. You mentioned Barrett Eldridge. He'll come to the plate next. He's at first base this afternoon. A guy who's done it all in the first game. Had the go-ahead 3-run home run, then got the save at the end of it. Right now it's a 1-2 count on the shortstop Tippett. DeRossi looks back at second now, fires, and the off-speed pitch plunks the River Bandits shortstop, and that will put 2 on here with 1 out. This was a little bit of what we saw yesterday for the Tom Sox. So it's yet to see how this inning ends up. Bradley Link took the mound and got himself in trouble early. He had a hit batter early in the game and resulted in a couple of runs in that first inning for Harrisonburg yesterday.
Yeah, both teams, Charlottesville and Woodstock, both went through 5 pitchers yesterday. The only difference was the Woodstock was able to get bat to ball and get some good hits and get some runs in. The Tom Sox were pretty much unable to, except for 1 RBI.
So here is Barrett Eldridge. He takes a first pitch strike. Plays at Rice in the spring. And a 200 average on the season in 20 games, 12 of them starting. He's got first and second here, 1 out. He's behind the count 0-1. Now it's an 0-2.
DeRossi Citron finally starting to show a bit of getting into his stride here. 1 strike away from retiring.
0-2 count, 1 out. Righty-righty matchup here with a pair of runners on base. DeRossi Citron fires, and it's fouled away down the right field line.
That foul ball was brought to you by First Heritage Mortgage, who you can reach at 434.
Eldridge, a native of Brookhaven, Georgia, stayed in the South to play his college ball. 3 RBIs last night on the long ball, also struck out twice. Rossi Citron looks back at second, now fires. Fly ball down the right field line. Bristow going back. It is over his head and out of here for a 3-run home run. Eldridge picks up right where he left off. And we saw the Turks hit a home run yesterday down that right field line, and that one, Bristow, just nothing he can do. And it's an early 3-run lead here for the River Bandits.
Yeah, that wall is pretty easy to catch if you get the right line. Only 290 to the right foul pole. And Eldridge did just that. Another 3-run home run, and River Bandits up 3-0 early.
The designated hitter, number 23, Nazir Mendez.
Brings Nazir Mendez to the plate. He's in the DH spot this afternoon. So some more early game trouble here for this Tom Sox pitching staff.
Mendez out of Eastern Kentucky. Played 32 games, 5 home runs, but a 187 batting average on the 2025 season.
Takes a first pitch strike. Mendez originally from New York, but made his way to EKU. Tom Sox surrendered a run in the first inning yesterday as DeRossi Citron deals a ball down low. But it really just was, there wasn't any one bad inning for the Sox yesterday. It was just a steady stream of runs that the Turks really put on them. Mendez chops this foul towards the right side.
It took about to the 6th or 7th inning for the Tom Sox to go through a scoreless inning, honestly. And but it wasn't, it was controlled damage from the other team. You know, they just couldn't get them to stop. It was just 1 run, 1 run, 1 run, 2 run, and that really put them in a hole.
1-2 to Mendez here. Off speed, caught him looking. Nice location and good framing there by the catcher, Jesus Cesari, and there are 2 outs here in the first as Citron tries to get out of this inning quickly. But to your point, Landon, you talked about controlled damage. It's a good way to put it. There wasn't an extra base hit from the Turks yesterday until the 7th inning when there was that home run to right field. And the Tom Sox didn't have much offense either. There was the 1 extra base hit from Jet Bristow, but that was the only run they scored. That was an RBI double. Here's the next hitter, Joey Gale, who takes strike 1. He's in right field this afternoon. DeRossi Citron comes set, deals on an 0-1, slider fouled away behind us.
Well, since the home run, DeRossi Citron has been pitching better. He got the K last at bat, and now already an 0-2 count here. It would be monumental to get out of this inning.
0-2 count, 2 outs. DeRossi comes set and fires on an 0-2. Fly ball into center field. A couple of Tom Sox circling for it, but it is the center fielder, Kyle Langley, who makes the catch to retire the side, but not before the River Bandits get a trio of runs. We're going to the bottom of the first. Tom Sox coming up to bat here.
From Show Airport Field.
Welcome back here as the bottom of the first about to get started. If you're just joining us, the River Bandits able to get 3 runs off of the Tom Sox starter, Eli DeRossi-Citron, but now Charlottesville will look to answer here. Still early in this one. Bottom of the first, they're going to have Kyle Langley, Adonis Velez, and Jackson Soroy to lead things off against the Woodstock starting pitcher, Joseph Domino.
Langley yesterday, unable to get bat to ball, struck out but did steal a base. Velez also not able to get anything going, and same with Soroy. So all 3 of them are looking to do better than yesterday, and all it takes is 1 hit.
Joseph Domino takes the mound, a lefty for the River Bandits, and he'll face the JMU man, Kyle Langley,
number 14,
a rising junior. He'll bat lefty. Made that catch to finish the inning a couple minutes ago in center field. Langley was hitless in his 2 at-bats. He started and led off yesterday's game. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Langley. This is downstairs for a ball. Langley on the season, he started a lot of games in his 2 years at JMU. Not a power hitter, but can steal a lot of bases. Bats for a relatively high average. Second pitch to him is driven out to right center field. 2 outfielders looking for it, but it's the center fielder, Cunningham, who will make the catch. Langley put a good swing on it, but just missed the warning track for the first out.
Yeah, if we want to be optimistic here, that was a good hit to center field. If it just had a little more oomph on it, it would have been over, and back on the scoreboard would be the Tom Sox, but at least he put his bat to ball.
Here's Adonis Velez. He'll bat righty. The sophomore out of FIU will step into the plate. First pitch from Domino misses downstairs, a changeup. Velez, 4 at-bats yesterday. He started at shortstop. Today he's at second. He was hitless and he had a pair of strikeouts. He'll try to get in the hit column here. He waits on a 1-0. Swinging a fly ball. This will go foul past the home dugout. Velez has played 1 season of college ball at FIU. He had a 119 average across his 21 games. 12 of them were starts. Strikeouts were the issue. He had 15 Ks in his lone season so far at FIU. He waits on a 1-1. Taken outside for a ball.
And 2 strikeouts yesterday. He loves to swing, very aggressive batter. And I think that's what the Tom Sox need today. Yesterday they're really passive in the batter's box, and today they just need to keep swinging.
2-1 from Domino. Outside again. Velez gets further ahead in the count, 3-1. And you know, the odds were almost stacked against the Tom Sox yesterday. They didn't have head coach Randy Tomlin nor one of their assistants, Chris Glaze. It just was not an ideal start for them as Velez fouls one straight back to even the count full.
Yeah, head coach Randy Tomlin had to travel with his Liberty Christian Academy team, and they picked up a big win yesterday.
They got the win yesterday. The Tom Sox did not, but have a chance to get to 500 here. They find themselves down by 3, but still early. Bottom 1. Full count to Velez. He puts a good swing into right center field. The right fielder calls off Cunningham. That's Joey Gale making the catch for the second out as Velez loses his helmet, and there are 2 away in the inning.
Batting third, the shortstop from Virginia.
Here is Jackson Soroy, the sophomore,
Soroy.
checking in.
Fan favorite here. Crowd loved him yesterday.
Of course, UVA just down the road here in Charlottesville. 20 games played for Soroy on the season. Just 2 starts. He hit .227. First pitch from Domino. Soroy takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Soroy was in the DH spot yesterday. He's going to play shortstop today. Guy who was really highly recruited out of the state of Virginia. Second pitch from Domino is lined the other way, foul down the first base line. It's an early 0-2 count. To your point about the Tom Sox needing to be aggressive, they went down by way of the K 13 times yesterday, Landon, but a lot of them were down looking, and it's credit to the Turks because they had really good pitchers. The 0-2 slider misses outside to make it 1-2. They're really good pitchers with really good stuff, but at a certain point you got to swing because those Harrisonburg pitchers were going to pound the zone.
Yeah, and look, anytime you get caught looking, sometimes it's okay because you want to be safe. But when you're down 6, 7, 8 runs,
1-2 down the right field line.
It comes to a point where you just got to try and get something, because if you don't try and get something, there's no momentum to build off of.
Sox only had 2 hits in yesterday's game. One was the aforementioned Jet Bristow RBI double. The other was an infield single from Tanner Shadle, who's back in the lineup today. Looking to do more damage here. 1-2, Soroy takes a slider above the zone for ball 2.
Patient baseball here from Soroy. He's evened up the count after being down 0-2.
First 2 hitters for the Tom Sox flew out deep into the outfield. Let's see what Soroy has on the even count. Domino fires, and Soroy goes down swinging. A 1-2-3 inning for Joseph Domino. We'll move to the second inning. Tom Sox go scoreless in the bottom of the first and find themselves down 3-0 after 1.
Charlottesville.
Welcome back here, top of the second, about to get underway. River Bandits find themselves ahead 3-0 here. Eli DeRossi Citron returns to the mound, and the leadoff man hits a ground ball to short. Soroy with a strong throw to retire Austin Ford. And so a good start here for DeRossi Citron as
I can't hear him.
Batting eighth, the catcher, number 26, Cade Norton.
as he was able to get the leadoff man out. Brings up the catcher, Cade Norton here. Norton bats righty. Will face DeRossi Citron for the first time this afternoon. First pitch to him, a strike on the outside corner. Second pitch to Norton, 0-1. Fastball brought down by the catcher Cesari into the zone. Home plate umpire Alvin Creedle calls strike 2. Norton played for Mercer this season, was good in his 13 starts. Takes the third pitch and scoops it out into right field. It will go foul just past the outstretched glove of Shadle over there at first. 24 games for him, a .263 average, 10 hits, scored 9 runs. Also had 1 long ball. Finds himself in an 0-2 hole here against DeRossi Citron. 0-2. Fly ball into shallow left field. Soroy is near it, but it's actually Langley who makes the catch closer to the second base bag. So this is exactly what DeRossi Citron was looking for here. 2 quick outs to start the second inning.
Number 0,
Absolutely, and you know, after the inning that he put up last time out with the 3-run home run given up, You think that it would kind of get into the mind of the pitcher, but not for DeRossi Citron. He's come back out with even more fire, even more pop.
Check swing, called strike here to the 9-hitter Wyatt Cunningham. With 2 outs, Cunningham will bat lefty. Citron out of the wind on an 0-1. Fastball hits the zone, and he's ahead in the count once again, 0-2.
Wyatt Cunningham, one of many on this Woodstock team coming out of Cameron University, his hometown, Salado, Texas.
That's another thing that I'm going to probably
0-2, Cunningham stays alive. Cameron University, a small school out in Oklahoma, but Cunningham put up good numbers for them, a .312 average. He had a homer and 23 RBIs, included 10 stolen bags as well, so not someone you want to let on here if you're the Tom Sox. Citron fires. Off-speed pitch misses low for a ball.
Yeah, DeRossi Citron has no plans of putting Cunningham on base. Already has him down in a 1-2 count, trying to finish him off here.
1-2 count. The right-hander comes set and deals. Cunningham flies one the other way into left. That will go foul.
That foul ball was brought to you by
Extends the at-bat
Taylor's Auto
further.
Body.
Good heads-up play over there, a woman putting her hands over her head as to shield herself from the ball.
Yeah, there are people sitting all around Cho Airport Field. Obviously, there's all that green space out in center. There's not a lot of people, but there are people down the third base line. 1-2 fastball misses upstairs. About, I would say, maybe 10 people in camping chairs over there on the other side of the road that goes up there. And so you got to be careful because the ball could come your way. It's a 2-2 count here, 2 outs. 3-0. Bandits got all 3 of their runs in the first. Citron deals a slider that Cesari showed to Alvin Creedle, but he said it was outside, and now it's full. Good at bat here from Cunningham.
Yeah, he's battled back from an 0-2 count. And we talked, 10 stolen bags, not somebody you want to put on first.
Full count. Citron fires. Outside. He comes all the way back from an 0-2 and works a walk with 2 away in the inning. That will flip the lineup card over here for the top of the order with Corville coming to the plate, who led off this game with a double.
Second baseman, Jake Corville.
Cesar yesterday came up to the press box and said, I'm going to do better tomorrow. I'm going to do better tomorrow. And already he does seem like, he's framing the pitch as well. It seems more of a good connection between him and Eli DeRossi Citron. Yesterday there were a few wild pitches that came and hit the backstop, so.
First pitch to Corville, now the second time through the order here, misses outside for a ball. And as Cesari just blocked that one, Landon, you mentioned there were a couple of wild pitches, pass balls. A couple of them hit the catcher's glove, and Cesari really beating himself up over that because it resulted directly in a couple of runs. There's twice where a runner was on third, and he came home via a pass ball. It's a 2-0 count here on Corville.
If you've watched these last couple, when they've hit the ground, Cesari is instantly standing up and looking to second. He's expecting Cunningham to try and steal second.
Doesn't have a huge lead over at first. Pitch misses inside. Did it hit him? It did, says the home plate umpire. That's the second River Bandit that's been hit in these early innings so far, and that puts a pair of runners on once again here with 2 outs, this time for Chris Toledo.
Christian Toledo.
Flew out last inning to center field. Going to see what happens this time for Toledo.
First pitch to Toledo. That hits the zone for strike 1. And you look at DeRossi Citron's numbers. He made 8 starts this season for the Mount, over 65 innings. He hit 17 batters. That's a number that's going to stand out. And if he's going to pitch inside to righties as much as he has so far, you run the risk of hitting batters. But he's doing a nice job on the outside corner here. He's worked Toledo into an 0-2 count.
We saw this with Cunningham. He was able to work back. DeRossi Citron looking to rewrite history.
0-2 count, 2 outs, 2 runners on here in the top of the second. DeRossi Citron fires and catches. Toledo looking. Second strikeout for DeRossi. That ends the frame, and he strands a pair as we move to the bottom of the second. Tom Sox still down by 3.
We'd like to give a huge
bottom of the second inning about to get started. There's a new pitcher in the game for the River Bandits. It is number 8, the righty Trinity Davis. He is a sophomore from William Carey University out in Mississippi. He didn't play his freshman year in college, but will get some action here in the Summer League, and he'll face 4, 5, 6, starting with Patrick Nias, due up for the Tom Sox.
Yeah, Patrick Nias yesterday did not have the day he would have liked. I believe he struck out, 4 times in 4 at-bats, so trying to right himself today.
First pitch to the righty Nias, a good slider that misses outside.
Nias plays in Gardner-Webb in the Big South Conference. 6'3", 210-pound sophomore. He's a big guy.
Second pitch, a fastball outside, 2-0. He plays at Gardner-Webb, but he's local to the area. He's from Falls Church up near D.C., but he played his high school ball at IMG Academy down in Florida, so he's really been all over the place. 2-0 to Nias. Finds its way into the zone for 2-1.
Can you call a high school player or a college player a journeyman?
Maybe, but being a journeyman at just a sophomore, he's been around the block. 2-1 outside. Nias ahead in the count.
In the day and age with NIL, we are seeing more college journeymen for sure.
Plenty of guys at 3, even 4 schools throughout their short college career. Nias takes a fastball up, and he's on base for the first time as a Tom Sock. He works a 5-pitch walk.
Well done there from Nias. Patient batting. Exactly what the rest of the Tom Sox will see and hopefully catch inspiration from.
Number 19, Hudson Luderman.
Here's Hudson Luderman walking up to some Brent Faiyaz. As a Maryland student, I can say with confidence it's a good song choice for him.
I love Crew.
First pitch to Luderman. Slider at the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Luderman, a guy you're familiar with, a Virginia Tech Hokie. Just finished his first year there. Behind in the count here, 0-1 with a runner on and nobody out. Throw back to first, Nias in safely.
Yeah, I gotta say, Daniel, that maroon and orange on the hat of Hudson Luderman looks pretty sweet to me.
Luderman played in 42 games, starting 34 of them for the Hokies. He had 4 home runs and 22 RBIs. Second pitch, misses down low. Good block there by the catcher Norton.
Yeah, Luderman, when he gets going, he gets going. It took him a little bit to get his wheels on during the season, but I remember towards the end of the ACC conference season, he was a big part of the Hokies lineup.
Luderman takes a fastball on the outer half for a strike. Yesterday he reached with a walk, but was 0 for 1 otherwise in his 2 at-bats. Played at second. He's over at third today. Got a chance to do some damage here with the man on, and a 1-2 count. Nias on first. Davis fires out of the stretch, and look out. That hit him. Did get him in the helmet. Ooh, it did not make solid contact, thankfully, but it's another runner on, and the Tom Sox have something cooking here with the bottom half of the order coming up.
Yeah, you never like to see a baseball going in that direction that high up. Could have been a scary moment from Luderman, but he was able to take it on the top of the head and get on first base.
So here comes Tanner Shadle, the ODU product. Had a hit, that infield single, as we mentioned yesterday, just one of 2 Tom Sox hits. He's looking for one here, representing the tying run. He shows bunt. First pitch from Davis, up and in again. Shadle backs out of the way. Shadle played in 30 games for ODU this season, a 17-game starter with 7 RBIs and a pair of homers. Strikeouts were his issue, though, 28 of them this season. Second pitch, he shows bunt, pulls back for ball 2.
Yes, sir. Time.
Time is called here, so we'll get a mound visit. Catcher Norton jogging up there, in addition to a visit on the mound.
So Shadle already ahead 2-0 in this count. Daniel, how big would it be if the Tom Sox could get 3 on base with no outs?
This is just something that they really weren't able to do yesterday. They really had no answer for the pair of pitchers that Harrisonburg threw at them yesterday. A lot of both of them, Fiesel and Tyler, had really good breaking stuff, sliders and curveballs that it really seemed like the Tom Sock hitters were just a little bit passive. But now with a whole other half of their coaching staff in the dugout with them, their approach is going to change a bit, presumably. And so Shadle ahead in this count here. Maybe just that conversation on the River Bandits side just to try to calm down Davis here as he was starting to lose his control a bit.
Yeah, anytime you go that high and that close to the head twice in a row with your pitches, something is definitely off, and maybe just a bit of fatigue, maybe just a bit of positive reinforcement from Bocock.
2-0 count. Davis out of the stretch. The first baseman creeping in, but Shadle pulls back the bunt, and it's 3-0.
And TJ Davis not doing well pitching against the trying bunt from Shadle. His last 2 pitches to him have been low.
So 3-0. I'd be surprised if Shadle puts a swing on it here. He pulls back, and it's a 4-pitch walk to load the bases for Jet Bristow. So this is quite the opportunity here that the Tom Sox have working in the bottom of the second. Shadle represents the tying run at first, and the go-ahead run, the UVA commit, Jet Bristow.
Bristow yesterday brought in a run, an RBI double. Incoming freshman hasn't played yet as the first pitch is high.
First pitch fastball at the head. Bristow not in college yet. He'll be an incoming freshman in the fall, but 6'4", 200. He's a big guy. He's able to get one out to right center field yesterday to bring in a run. Second pitch misses upstairs. And now that gets the bullpen working here for the River Bandits. They got a right-hander up in the pen. 2-0 count. Davis goes back to the wind against Bristow and hits the outer half of the zone for strike 1.
I think that's the cool thing about summer baseball, Daniel. This is a guy that hasn't played college ball yet, but he's getting reps against college-level players.
That hits the inside corner, outside corner, I should say, for strike 2. You have a matchup between Bristow, a guy who's yet to play college ball, and Davis, a guy who didn't technically play college ball in his first season. He's got a 2-2 count with nobody out. Bristow lays off the off-speed to make it full.
A ball away from bringing home a run here.
Braden Weaver waits on deck here for the Sox. Just looking to get their first run. Try to crawl back into this one, down 3. Full count, Bristow swings and lines one right to the shortstop, who flips to second for a double play. Great work there by the middle infield, Tippett and Corville. Bristow hit that one hard, and they caught the runner at second, Luderman, out in no man's land. And that is just an unfortunate break here for the Tom Sox.
Yeah, quick thinking from Woodstock. Unfortunate for the Tom Sox that they weren't able to get anything out of a bases-loaded scenario. But the inning is not over. Braden Weaver is up to bat.
Inning is not over. Runners still in the corners here with 2 outs. Tom Sox down by 3. First pitch from Davis to Weaver. Misses down and away for a ball. Weaver, a rising sophomore at Liberty. He's from this area. He played for Liberty Christian, which is the school that Randy Tomlin coaches at when he's not coaching the Tom Sox. Here's the 1-0 from Davis upstairs for ball 2.
Yeah, pretty cool reunion here. You go from playing with Randy Tomlin to going to Liberty, now back to playing for Randy Tomlin.
2-0 count. Davis fires on the inner half for a strike to make it 2-1. Weaver, a guy who has had ties to Liberty for a while. His father played there. He also played at Georgia. 2-1 from Davis to Weaver, right over the heart of the plate for strike 2. Weaver came into this game, the game yesterday, I should say, replacing Elijah Costin, who started in left field. Weaver finished off the game. He had 1 at-bat that resulted in a strikeout. Even count here, 2-2, 2 outs. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Blew him away with the fastball, and the Tom Sox strand a pair. We'll move to the 3rd inning. River Bandits up 3-0 here against the Sox. Welcome back to the broadcast here. Top of the third inning about to get underway. The River Bandits ahead of the Tom Sox here. 3-0 off of that 3-run home run in the first from Barrett Eldridge. He will bat second in this inning. Will Tippett to lead things off here against Eli DeRossi Citron, who returns to the mound for a third inning of work. First pitch to Tippett is drilled into left field. Weaver circling near the wall. He'll make the catch. That one off the bat looked like it might have had enough to get out of here, but it stays in the yard for a loud out number 1.
First baseman, Barrett Eldridge.
Good start there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Brings Eldridge and his dangerous bat up to the plate.
3-run home run last night. 3-run home run early in this one.
First pitch from Citron is grounded to short. Soroy with a hop over to first and 2 quick outs on the board. 2 pitches, 2 outs here as Citron picking up right where he left off at the end of the second.
Designated
Brings
hitter,
up Nazir Mendez.
Mendez.
Designated hitter. He was caught looking in his first at-bat. Forgot to mention we can close the book on the Woodstock starter, Joseph Domino. He pitched 1 inning, no hits, no runs, and a strikeout. And we'll see if Davis returns to the mound in the bottom half of the inning or if Woodstock goes to the pen once more. Righty-lefty matchup here. Citron first pitch to Mendez. Fastball hits the top of the zone. Mendez not happy with that call.
6'2", 200-pound senior out of New York. Previously was at Allegheny College of Maryland.
One misses inside to even the count. You look at his numbers from his previous season with Eastern Kentucky, and you see the 187 batting average, not so good, but then you see the 5 home runs, and you know he can hit the ball just like he did here. Out into right center field, that ball will split the right fielder and center fielder off the wall. Bristow in to relay it. Mendez chugging into second, and he's in safely with a head-first slide. Pretty similar to where Corville hit that ball to start off the game, and now Mendez puts a runner in scoring position with a pair away.
Man, a guy that size being able to go for a standing double is pretty impressive to see. Mendez, as you were saying, he has that capability, and he just showed it right there.
Puts a runner on second for Joey Gale. Flew out to end the inning in the first. Now in his second at-bat, he looks to knock one in. River Bandits already up by 3. They want more insurance. First pitch to Gale misses down low for a ball. Gale plays his college ball at St. Joe's. Hit 221 in the spring with 34 hits, 35 runs scored.
Yet to get a home run.
Second pitch to him, flown, a blooper into shallow right. Bristow calls off Velez and makes the catch on the run. Good job by EDC, stranding one at second, and we'll move to the bottom of the third. River Bandits ahead, 3-0. bottom three getting started here. Tom Sox find themselves down 3-0. Thank you all for joining us. Daniel Stein, Landon Weaver here with this one. 9-1-2 due up for a Tom Sox lineup that still has not registered a hit today.
Yeah, they've been relying on the pitcher errors so far today. A lot of hit-by pitches and a lot of base-by balls here for the Tom Sox, but they need to do some damage of their own, and looks like Jesus Cesari is up to bat. He'll be looking to get the Tom Sox first hit of the day.
Here is Cesari, a first pitch fastball that misses outside. Cesari, interesting story, played at Southeast Arkansas, originally from Venezuela. Takes one outside once again for a ball. 49 at-bats this past season. About 10 RBIs and 5 strikeouts. A couple of stolen bases as well. He shows bunt, takes one right down the middle for strike one.
367 average. That's pretty decent for your first year of college baseball.
18 hits, 49 at-bats. Not a bad ratio as he takes outside 3-1. Top of the order with Kyle Langley waiting on deck. Davis back on the mound for the Bandits, and he misses inside. Cesari works a leadoff walk. Tom Sox have something cooking again.
Well, maybe I'll stand corrected then, because the pitcher for Woodstock continues to give bases to the Tom Sox.
Langley started off the bottom half of the first with a loud out to center field where he's playing today. But this time he gets to face a righty. Davis looks down at the runner at first and in. This is inside. Cesari's going to go. Throw down is a good one from Norton, and they hose him at second. Cesari had a good jump, and he stole a couple of bags in his previous season at Southeast Arkansas, but a really good throw from Cade Norton, enough to get him at second.
I like the aggressiveness, though, from Cesari. You need some offense going, and what better way to do it than stealing a bag? Unfortunate that he just didn't time it there.
So that erases the leadoff walk. Now with one out, Langley takes a strike to even the count at one apiece. Out of the wind, Davis fires on a 1-1. Langley drills it out to left field. That will find the spectators out there.
1-2, fellas.
1-2. Langley, another guy from the DC area, from Arlington, Virginia. Something he really did that impressed me was upping his stolen base numbers. He had 6 in his freshman season, 16 in his sophomore campaign. That's what he'll try to do if he gets on here, but he can't show off the speed as he strikes out. And another inning that started with promise for the Tom Sox, not going their way. 2 outs here. Velez will step up.
Already the 3rd strikeout of the day for the Tom Sox. On track for yet another large number if they don't get their bat to ball soon.
First pitch to Adonis Velez. Good slider on the outer half for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Davis working quickly. Velez drills it, but way foul. See, that one will roll all the way towards Charlottesville High School near the parking lot. Velez in an 0-2 hole. Davis fires. Slider is lined into left field, and that is down for the first hit for the Tom Sox today. Velez will hold at first. It is a 2-out single. Looked like he saw pretty much either pitched fastball or slider really well in that at-bat. He waited on the slider and drilled it in the left.
Yeah, perfect spot just in front of the left fielder. Not enough for him to come catch it, and Velez safely at first.
Brings the local product, Jackson Soroy, to the plate. He struck out in his first at-bat in the first inning. He's got a man on to work with here. Velez in safely with the pickoff attempt. First pitch from Davis, fastball just above the zone for ball one. It's a good crowd today at Cho Airport Field. Has not had much to cheer about so far. Bandits got 3 runs in the first. Since then, they've been blanked, but Tom Sox yet to get their first run of the game. Soroy ahead in the count 2-0.
It's kind of similar to how the game went yesterday as far as the Tom Sox go. They're just not able to get anything going. I do like that they had people on bases last inning, unable to get any of them going and leaving two.
Davis throws back to first. Velez in safely once again. But yeah, I mean, working walks and getting hit by pitches, Landon, is great, but if you're not getting solid contact that's missing these Woodstock defenders, then you're not going to go anywhere. 2-0 on the outside corner for strike one. Tom Sox had bases loaded, nobody out last inning, and Bristow put a good swing on it, but hit it right at the shortstop Tippett. Velez just caught Davis, and did he get second safely? Yes, he did. He just took off before Davis even realized that he turned around, but the throw into second was on the other side of the bag, and Velez able to steal second safely.
Impressive there from Adonis Velez, who didn't have any stolen bags in his college season. Gets his first of the Valley Baseball League here.
Now Soroy's got a man on first. Look out at third. Randy Tomlin had to duck. Now 2-2, but maybe these Tom Sox hitters starting to get more solid contact here. Can they get one fair? Soroy's got a runner in scoring position here, just trying to get the first run across of the afternoon for Charlottesville. Here's the 2-2 from Davis. Soroy lines one down the left field line. Diving stop by the third baseman. Ford, he throws over to first. What a play. And the Tom Sox continue to get bad luck here on offense. And Woodstock preserves the shutout they have going. We've gotten through 3 here at Show Airport Field. Tom Sox behind 3-0. Top of the 4th inning, about to get started at Show Airport Field. The Tom Sox find themselves down 3-0 here in Game 2 of their 2025 campaign. Eli DeRossi Citron back on the mound to face 7, 8, 9 in this Bandit lineup, starting with Austin Ford here in the 4th. Ford grounded out to short in his first at-bat. It's ahead in the count 1-0. Now it's 2-0 as the fastball misses upstairs. 2-0 count here. DeRossi Citron out of the wind, fires, swing and a miss. Good slider. Ford, a guy who maybe has traveled the furthest out of anyone on either of these teams. He's from California, plays his college ball at Folsom Lake College.
Yeah, 30 games in his first 2 years there.
2-1 from Citron, good slider. Finds the inner half and it's 2-2.
No home runs. Took quite a dip from the first year to the second year as far as batting average goes. 294 his first year, 175 last season.
2-2 outside to make it full.
Only real difference from the first and second year was a stolen bag in 2025.
It's a full count here. Citron trying to get the leadoff man out again, and the slider is grounded to third. picked. Luderman dropped it, but he throws it over to first with enough time to retire the leadoff man Ford. So this is something that the Tom Sox were just not able to do very often yesterday, with starting with Bradley Link, who was the starter, but then it really rolled through most of the pitchers they brought in. They were unable to retire the leadoff man. They were able to do so in all but 2 innings. And Citron so far, with the exception of the first inning today, has reversed that trend. First pitch to the 8-hitter Norton, misses outside for a ball. Norton in this game so far, he flew out to Kyle Langley out in center field. He'll bat righty. He's got that front foot with the guard on it, a little bit off center compared to his back foot. Takes one inside for a ball, 2-0.
Nearly hit Norton there.
DeRossi so far has really been pitching inside to these right-handed hitters, which makes up most of the Woodstock lineup. He's had mostly success so far. That one is lined right to Hudson Luderman over to third, and they're 2 away here in the 4th. Brings the 9-hitter Wyatt Cunningham to the plate. Walked in his first at-bat. The Cameron University product will step in for at-bat number 2. DeRossi's first pitch to Cunningham. Fastball misses outside. You can see over there down that first base line where the Tom Sox bullpen is. There's Elijah Costin getting warmed up. And he did play left field yesterday, but now he's going to get ready to pitch at some point in this game. 2-0 count here on Cunningham, but those two-way players always just bring more excitement to the team.
Indeed, and Riley Royerty and Elijah Costin, teammates at VCU, teammates at Benedictine College Prep out of Richmond, Virginia.
Swinging a fly ball. This will make its way foul. 2-1.
That foul ball is brought to you by
Definitely
First
some
Heritage Mortgage.
coercion and working together to get up to Charlottesville together.
2-1.
So interesting how most of these guys are local, from Virginia at least, but the combination with guys from other states and other parts of the country really makes summer ball interesting. Here's a drive by Cunningham into right center field. Bristow and Langley are circling for it, but it's Langley who makes the catch on the run, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for EDC. We'll move to the bottom of the 4th. Tom Sox down by 3. Bottom of the fourth getting started. Patrick Nias to lead things off for the Tom Sox. Still chasing 3 here against the River Bandits. A new pitcher in the game for Woodstock. This is Jordan Hodges, the right-hander. First pitch to Nias, a fastball misses outside for a ball.
Now pitching for Woodstock.
Jordan Hodges out of Cameron University.
Number 10.
Hometown
Jordan
is Gilmer,
Hodges.
Texas. And you want to know something, Daniel? Gilmer, Texas hosts the East Texas Jamboree.
Nias drives one down the right field line. Looks like it's trailing foul, and it is. Pretty well struck. But yeah, the East Texas Jamboree. So not the Jamboree, but the Jamboree, which to our research celebrates the sweet potato harvest every year.
Must be a pretty big culture thing down there in Gilmer, Texas. I'm not a big sweet potato guy myself, but to each their own.
Gilmer, it's a town with about 5,000 people in it, but anything you can do to, make your hometown known, it's awesome. It's always the fun part about prepping for these games. You never know what you're going to find in your research. Here's the 1-1 from Hodges, swung on and cut through by Nias. Nias worked a walk in his first at-bat. Behind in the count 1-2 here with Luderman on deck. Hodges deals. Nias checks his swing. Did he go? First base umpire Mike Mackey says no.
You think he eats sweet potatoes for a pregame meal?
Maybe. I mean, they're pretty good for you. Why not, right?
Healthy snack.
2-2 from Hodges. Ground ball to short. Picked up by Tippett with a hop. He throws over to first to retire Nias for out number 1. I feel like with Hodges, it would either be being from that town, you either love sweet potatoes or you absolutely hate them because of the Jamboree and you're sick of them.
Gotta wonder, when does that take place?
One out that brings Hudson Luderman to the plate. He reached on a hit by pitch in the second. Hodges out of the stretch. First pitch to Luderman. Hit well in the left field. Left fielder Toledo going back. It's over his head and out of here. The first home run of the 2025 season for the Tom Sox goes to the VT man, Hudson Luderman. And it's 3-1 as the Tom Sox get one back.
He absolutely crushed that one, Daniel. No doubt about it. And the Tom Sox get their first home run.
You see, I guess you can't see it on the monitor, but he puts on the big hat over there that it lived in the press box for a while, but now it is the home run crown. As that gets the crowd here at Cho Airport something to cheer about. First pitch to Shadle hits the zone for a strike.
Yeah, that's the loudest I've heard the concourse so far in our being here for 2 games. They love a home run.
0-1 from Hodges. Swinging a fly ball into shallow left. Center fielder Cunningham calls everyone off and makes the catch for out number 2.
So this year, the East Texas Jamboree takes place on October 15th through the 18th. I mean, I think we should just get some plane tickets and go down there.
Yeah. I don't know if you can fly directly into Gilmer, but the Jamboree, I mean, just looking through the website that you're looking at right next to me, this looks like some fun times.
It's really put together.
Here comes Jet Bristow to the plate, lined into that double play in the second, but he hit it hard. Here's the first pitch from Hodges, misses down and away for a ball. One and 0 count, 2 outs. Hodges deals and Bristow lines one straight back to even the count. For all the rain that we've had in the last week or so, it's really given us some good weather. I was, as a Chicago guy myself, I was kind of expecting the heat and humidity so far kind of down in Virginia, but so far that hasn't happened yet. That misses inside to Bristow. I know it's coming at some point, but so far it's been great weather.
Being from Virginia, you're taught to always look at the weather and see what to expect. I looked to see what it would be towards the end of this week, and we do reach the 90s.
2-1 on Bristow. Swinging a blooper into center field. Cunningham coming in. He lets it fall in front of him. That's a 2-out single. Jet Bristow collects hit number 2 as a Charlottesville Tom Sock, and Charlottesville's got one on here with 2 outs for Weaver.
Absolutely love his walk-up song, Dream Weaver, Braden Weaver. It's pretty cool.
From one Weaver to another, giving a compliment. First pitch here to Braden with Bristow on first and 2 outs. Weaver swinging away. Look out, that one just cleared the fence to the right of us.
That ball is brought to you by Taylor's Auto Body.
So the tying run at home plate now. The Tom Socks got to think that they are back in this game. A 3-0 deficit is much different than a 3-1 deficit.
Throw back to first. Bristow in safely. In a game so far where, after giving up 3 in the first, the rest of these innings so far have been zeros for Woodstock. You have to be building some of that confidence if you're the Tom Socks. Swing and a miss by Weaver.
Much more aggressive batting today from the Tom Socks. Part of the reason why they're on the board and part of the reason why they've had runners in scoring position thus far.
0-2 with 2 outs for Weaver. Hodges throws back. And it may be that the pitchers that the Tom Socks saw yesterday were an anomaly. I mean, they faced Fiesel, who's a Clemson pitcher. You don't see a lot of ACC guys here, but you'll see some. And just never know who you're going to face here in summer ball. 0-2 from Hodges. Weaver swings and misses. His second K of the afternoon, but the Tom Socks get on the board via the home run from Hudson Luderman. They still trail 3-1 as we head to the 5th.
From Charlottesville.
Tom Socks got their first run of the afternoon in the bottom half of the 4th, and now just trail by 2 here as the Bandits come up to the plate. They got the top of the order against Eli DeRossi Citron, who returns to the mound, deals a first pitch strike to the leadoff man Jake Corville, who's reached in both of his at-bats today. First on a double, second on a hit by pitch.
Part of the reason why
Here's a ground ball to second, collected by Velez. He hit it right at him. Throws over to first for the first out of the inning.
Part of the reason why the Tom Socks are staying in this game is their pitching. Other than the 3-run home run that was let up in the first inning, EDC's pitched a really great game. And you think about it, by this time yesterday, the Tom Socks were already on their 3rd pitcher.
Yesterday's pitching rotation, per se, for the Tom Socks. No one pitched more than 2 innings. First pitch here to Toledo shows bunt, misses outside. And that game yesterday, Landon, was so interesting because it wasn't like the Tom Socks were getting all these hard contact hit against them out into deep parts of the outfield as Toledo hits one into the outfield this time, but Langley will settle under it. What was really happening was there was a lot of hard-hit singles, but they were just kind of finding the gaps between defenders out there, and I chalked up a lot of it to just being unlucky. 2 outs here with Will Tippett coming to the plate. Tippett on the day 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Line drive into left field, and that's down for a hit. A 2-out single as Tippett hits one to Weaver out there in left. Puts a runner on for Eldridge and that 3-run home run.
Aaron Eldridge.
Eldridge has been a guy who would not want to face so far in this first game and a half here of the Valley League season. Already a couple of home runs for him. First pitch, there goes the runner. Driven into left center field. Langley and Weaver looking for it. It's Weaver who makes the catch. And that is 5 good innings here from EDC. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th. Tom Sox down by 2 here.
Welcome back to Cho Airport Field. Not a pitching change, but a broadcaster change. I'm Landon Weaver, and I'll be taking over the play-by-play responsibilities for the rest of today. My man Daniel Stein, my happy birthday, Daniel, his 20th birthday today. He'll be taking over the color duties for the rest of the game. And we have a good game so far, 3-1 through the middle of the 5th inning, and the Charlottesville Tom Sox are still looking to get back in this game.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And, you know, the Tom Sox have not had the start to the season offensively that they've wanted to, but we see them starting to wake up, right? First with that home run with Luderman, but I would argue before that with Velez's aggressiveness at the plate and taking a couple of pitches and hitting them really hard. The Tom Sox, they're starting to figure it out and starting to shake that rust off.
Jesus Cesari up to bat as he swings on, and it pops up to right field. Just safely caught by Joey Gale. So an early fly out for the catcher, Jesus Cesari. Brings up the top of the order for the Tom Sox. Kyle Langley steps up to bat against Jordan Hodges. The first pitch from Hodges coming up here. Down and away for ball 1. Jordan Hodges, again, from Gilmer, Texas. We went in depth on the East Texas Jamboree in the last inning. He's pitched a good game so far, only letting up that home run. His second pitch is just inside the strike zone for strike 1. 1-1 the count, 1 out on the board. Tom Sox down 3-1.
Langley is a leadoff guy. It's someone you really want to get on base, especially with his speed.
He pops it up. Shortstop coming to get it. He calls off Toledo and makes the grab. Will Tippett there with safe hands, and 2 up, 2 down for the Tom Sox.
Velez.
Can officially close the book on Davis, the second pitcher for Woodstock. He went 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So Woodstock kind of approaching the game as Charlottesville did a day ago, with pitchers, a lot of pitchers they're using, but no one pitching a lot of innings necessarily.
Strike 1 down the middle for Hodges. Adonis Velez up to bat now. Flew out on his first at bat. His second at bat was able to get a single and eventually steal second. What will he do here as the second pitch from Hodges comes and swung on by Velez, popped up yet again. Shortstop calls for it yet again, but it'll go to Toledo, and he makes the grab. So 3 up, 3 down for the Tom Sox. Their score is still 3-1. Pitching change sees EDC exit the game after 5 complete innings for the Tom Sox, and Elijah Costin, the left-hand pitcher, and also duels as an outfielder, checks in from VCU, a sophomore. 14 games played for the Rams, a 2-3 record, 21 innings pitched, and just a 3.00 ERA with 20 strikeouts, 14 base by balls, and a 132 batting average against. Some pretty good stats there, Daniel.
Yeah, I like that batting average against for sure. You see the 5 hit by pitches, 5 wild pitches as well, and that might be a bit of a problem, but over 20 innings is a really good freshman season. And again, for a guy who also hits as well, he's going to be a real player to watch as the season goes on. But his first pitching appearance here as a Tom Sock this afternoon.
So Elijah Costin will face off against Nazir Mendez. The big man from Eastern Kentucky University had a standoff double in his last at-bat. Costin, as aforementioned, teammates with Rorty, who pitched yesterday. The first pitch from Elijah Costin doesn't find the strike zone, just above 1-0 the count.
Yeah, he can end DeRossi Citron's day as 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, but only 1 walk and a pair of strikeouts. That's a really solid start. It's not perfect, but 3 runs as Mendez gets plunked is going to be plenty for the Tom Sox to come back from.
Yep, Nazir Mendez hit by the pitch, and he will take first base. That one looked like it hurt. He jumped up in agony. So Mendez moves on to first, and that will bring up Joey Gale, who has flown out in his first 2 at-bats, once in the first, once in the third. What does he have in store for us in the 6th?
Third batter that's been hit by a pitch by these Tom Sox pitchers in these first couple of games, and it's something that, you know, when you're dealing lefty-lefty, it's always difficult to, against, you know, someone who you're not supposed to pitch against, but as a lefty, you're going to be called in primarily to pitch against lefties, so you got to get comfortable with guys who are going to, like Mendez, who are going to crowd the plate.
Gale couldn't connect on the first. He swings and misses. 0-1 the count. A runner on first and Nazir Mendez. The 1-0 is swung on and hit the second base. The flip. Can it turn double? No, it cannot. But Nazir Mendez is out at second base. And Joey Gale able to reach first.
You called a fielder's choice for Gale, and I think Velez should have charged that ball. There's a pretty big lip between the grass and the dirt on the infield, and Velez kind of just let that one come to him. I think if he stepped up for it, he would have turned it quicker, and Soroy would have had a better chance of getting Gale, but still got an out on the board.
1 out, 1 on base, bringing up Austin Ford, who swings and misses on the first. 0-1 the count. So after the hit by pitch on Nazir Mendez, Elijah Costin has found his rhythm.
How many pitches did
The 0-1. Just a bit outside as the count moves to 1-1. Elijah Costin against Austin Ford, the third baseman. Ford today, a couple putouts, 0 for 2 so far. The 1-1 from Costin. Outside, good catch there by Cesari as it could have hit the backstop. That really did save a steal.
Some are just getting started. We got a snow cone there from Cesari. He's done a much better job so far behind the plate, not letting much get past him. And you saw him yesterday do one of those back picks, and Gale's got a pretty big lead over at first. I wouldn't be surprised if Cesari lets it rip.
High and away. The count moves to 3-1 after Costin took an early 0-1 lead. Austin Ford looking to advance the runner and get himself on base here. The 3-1 as Gale goes. He would have gotten there anyways, but they called ball 4. So runners on first and second and Ford and Gale. And that brings up Cade Norton,
Catcher, Cade.
who's flown out and lined out, looking to get his first hit of the day.
A short walk to first for Ford, a guy who's used to going longer distances. He's 28 miles away from California, and now he's on first.
Cade Norton, the catcher from Mercer College, played in 24 games this season, batted .263. The first is swung on and hit to right field and caught. Safely back to second base, no runners advance, and we're at 2 outs. Bristow with an easy catch.
I was a little worried that Bristow might have overran that one, as even him, 6'4", out there had to reach up and catch that ball, but an out's an out, and now Costin just one away here from getting out of the inning.
We are back up to the top of the order with Jake Corville. Looking to do some damage here, Elijah Costin dealing the first pitch now. Away to the right for ball 1. Corville so far today, a double, hit by pitch, and then put out. So 2 for 3 on the day. My apologies, we've got Cunningham. Wyatt Cunningham up. We are not at the top of the order just yet. Wyatt Cunningham got on base courtesy of balls early. He watches that one sail above the strike zone for ball 2.
I got thrown off a little bit too, because just occurred to me that Cunningham's a switch hitter. Now facing the lefty, he turns around and bats on the other side here.
Impressive there from Cunningham. The 2-0. High and away again. 3-0 the count. Costin has dug himself quite a hole to get out of, as there are 2 outs on the board. A runner in scoring position and a runner on first base. Wyatt Cunningham, 43 games last season for Cameron University. Watches the ball sail low, and the bases will be loaded courtesy of balls by Elijah Costin. Brings up Luke Keister.
Yeah, so as he has a conversation with home plate umpire Alvin Creedle here, Keister's going to pinch hit for Jake Corville, who led off this order for Woodstock. It's an interesting decision because you're taking Corville out of the game, a guy who reached on two of three of his plate appearances, I should say. But at the same time, we're getting a mound visit here as Chris Glaze up at the mound talking to Costin in the infield.
So Luke Keister out of Shenandoah University, Penn Laird, Virginia, not a far drive from Charlottesville at all. He's steadily increased his appearances through his college years, 7 games in his first year, 25 games last year, and 26 in this most recent season, including 13 starts. His best season to date came in 2024 as he batted .241, including 6 RBIs and 7 hits, 7 runs, 3 stolen bags to add to that total. The right-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher, Costin. 2 outs on the board, bases loaded for the River Bandits. First pitch is high and away, ball 1.
Yeah, how about this for an opportunity to come off the bench and come through for your team here? You got 2 on with 2 outs against Costin, who hasn't had his control in these last couple at-bats.
1-0 from Costin. Right down the middle for strike 1. Able to get his bearings for that one. 1-1 the count. Keister did start yesterday for the River Bandits. As the ball sails low, Cesare was on his toes, making sure that no run was coming home from third. 2-1 now the count. 2 outs on the board. 3-1 still your score. River Bandits lead the Tom Sox. High and away. Ball 3. Costin looking for some in the zone now. He absolutely needs it, as the bases are again loaded for Woodstock. The pitch comes, and it's ball 4, which sends a runner home. 4-1 now the score. River Bandits extend their lead to 3.
Yeah, not ideal for Costin, but so far the fastball velocity, or the velocity has been there, I should say, but the command has not, and that's something that he's going to have to clean up. But you got 2 outs, and the silver lining to the bases loaded is everywhere is an out, so if you get a ground ball, you got to get the out.
First pitch from Costin to Toledo goes into the dirt for ball 1. Ever since getting those 2 outs, Costin has not looked like himself out there on the mound. 4-1 now your score in favor of Woodstock. The second pitch is high and away yet again. Cesare saying, yeah, I saw you leading. And the ball will go back to the mound for the 2-0 pitch.
Wonder if he's just trying to get in his head, because Shadell is not even holding the runner on first base on.
The 2-0 high and away yet again. 3-0 the count. A big hole here for Elijah Costin. With 2 outs on the board, an out is immense.
Right now you just need a strike, because you know he's not going to swing.
And he does just that as Toledo runs towards first, thinking that he had ball 4. But no, no, no. Home plate umpire Alan Crate said it was a strike. 3-1 now the count. Alvin Crate, my apologies. Costin on the board in this at bat. He deals the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Toledo couldn't connect. Strike 2. Full count now. A big pitch for Elijah Costin. Easily his biggest pitch of his early VBL career. Trying to retire Chris Toledo. And he does just that. Strike 3. Toledo goes back to the dugout, and so does Elijah Costin. The Tom Sox escape the top of the 6th with only 1 run given in a bases loaded scenario. 4-1, the River Bandits lead. A change for the River Bandits. Rocco De Pastino steps in for Cade Norton at the catching position. 12 games played by De Pastino for Indian River State College. 0 starts, a batting average of 185, including 2 RBIs and 5 hits. 9 strikeouts in 12 games, though. He is a swinger. But for now, we'll focus on his defensive aspect, as the Tom Sox will be up to bat for this bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, he inherits Hodges, who returns to the mound here for the River Bandits, and they got an extra insurance run. But right now, I'm just interested to see the Tom Sox swing it. We've seen them get hard contact so far in this game, but they're going to need more than just a solo home run if they want to get back in this one down by 3.
Jackson Soroy up for the Tom Sox, the hometown hero. Looking to get the bats going for the Tom Sox in this bottom of the 6th. They are down 4-1 after a run was brought in on walks last inning. The first pitch comes, and it's just below the strike zone. 1-0 the count. Hodges still out there wheeling and dealing for the River Bandits. The 1-0. Soroy swings, and it's driven into deep center field, and a diving catch is made by the center fielder, Cunningham. A hard catch, honestly, looking like he was running and the ball was chasing after him, but it nonetheless retires Soroy.
I really feel bad for Jackson Soroy today because his second at-bat was a line drive down the left field line that was caught by the third baseman, Ford, and then now this at-bat, a really nice play by Cunningham running out to his left in right center field. Just really bad luck for the Tom Sox.
Brings up Patrick Nias, who got base by balls early on in this game and then put out in the 4th inning. First pitch was a strike to Nias. The 0-1 from Hodges. Inside. Will even the count to 1-1 as De Pastino throwing the ball back to Hodges, but sailed all the way into center field.
Trying to shake the rust off a little bit, I guess, in summer ball.
Maybe. Rocco De Pastino, as we mentioned, is the new catcher for the River Bandits. This is his second at-bat of the day. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for Nias. Swung and tipped backwards into the backstop.
Another defensive change for Woodstock. Now in center field, number 4, Hunter Miller.
Hunter Miller now in center field. He was the one that made that catch on Jackson Soroy as the count moves to 1-2 after the tip by Patrick Nias. Hodges will deal the pitch. 1-2 the count. Bit of a wild pitch as it skipped into the dirt before the white lines came, and the count moves now to 2-2. Deuces running wild.
Everything's running wild. I saw Hodges spike one in warm-ups. He sent the ball basically close to the first base paint, and it completely missed De Pastino. It's pretty similar to what happened there.
The 2-2 is swung on and hit, and not able to make the play is the second baseman, as Patrick Nias will move into first base.
Well, that's got to feel good for Nias, especially after his tough game yesterday. He worked a walk today, grounded out in the 4th, and now getting on base with a single. Baby steps here as we're starting summer ball here in the summer.
Corsville attempting to dive to get that ball, just skip past his glove as Luderman comes up. Homer in his last at-bat. What does he have in store here? He is able to get the Tom Sox within 1 if he were to homer again, as the first pitch is down and away.
River Bandits now in right field, number 7, JT Andorowski.
JT Andorowski now in right field for the River Bandits. The 1-0 pitch to Luderman doesn't come because Nias was leading a little bit too much, and Hodges did not like that. Still 1-0 the count, 1 out on the board. 4-1 your score. Tom Sox trailing by 3. The 1-0. Popped up into the air. Looks like the shortstop has got it, and he does. That's 2 outs, and Will Tippett with the easy catch. Bringing up the next batter, Tanner Shadle, who had a good game yesterday, able to get a run home. Reached on balls earlier today. Still a runner on first, and Patrick Nias, 2 outs on the board for the Tom Sox. Strike 1, as Shadle could not get his bat on it. 0-1 the count.
Out in front of that had some wicked movement. Looked like a slider out of the hand of Hodges. I think he was cheating the heater on that one.
The 0-1 from Hodges. Yet again, doesn't come because he didn't like how Nihas was leading, and he checked it to first base. Still 0-1 your count, 2 outs on the board. Shadle awaits the 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Just inside, and it catches. 0-2 now the count. 2 outs on the board. 4-1 your score. Shadle has dug himself a hole. He's got to do something here. Hodges likes what Dave Padino was showing him. Agrees on a pitch. The 0-2 coming up soon. He checks first base. Uncorks. Shadle hits. Picked up by the shortstop Tippett. Thrown back to first. It's safe. Thrown to third. And he's safe. So, a single from Shadle advances Nihas all the way to third. And a fielder's choice. And now that brings up the tying run and Jet Bristow at home plate.
This is really good base running from Patrick Nias. He never stopped running, and this was going to be a really tough play. Tippett had to go deep in the hole to collect that ball, and I mean, it would have had to be a Angelton Simmons type throw to get him out. And even Shadle, who's not the fastest on the team, able to beat that one.
Bristow uncorks and hits it into foul territory, close to the Tom Sox dugout. 0-1 the count. Runners on the corners.
Trevor, 3, please.
As the umpire asked for 3 balls. The pitch coming to Bristow, the 0-1. Bristow watches it fall into the strike zone for 0-2 now. He's got to do something here. Shadle was in this position last time, and he was able to advance Nihas to third and get himself on first. Can Bristow do some of the same? A runner just 90 feet from home plate. The payoff pitch. Bristow swings and drives it to Tippett again, who gets it to second, and that ends the inning. 4-1 still your score from the River Bandits, leading the Tom Sox as we head to the top of the 7th.
6 innings. It's River Bandits 4, Tom Sox.
Another pitching change for Charlottesville. Tristan Dietrich checks into the game. He'll be on the mound now. The Florida International junior, 6'5", 194 lefty from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, 3 innings pitched is his career high, and he throws in the mid-90s, Daniel. Some real heat we're going to see here in Charlottesville coming up soon.
Yeah, just kind of that prototypical big, tall lefty flamethrower out of the pen. That's what you want. It's a guy who was actually drafted a couple of years ago in the 18th round by the Marlins. He chose to go to school, went to FIU, and his numbers in those 2 seasons, when you look solely at ERA, have not been very good. You see in his freshman campaign, hitters were hitting 400 against him, but he got that down to 246 in his sophomore campaign, and so look for him to build on that here in the Valley League.
Now batting for Woodstock, who was a defensive replacement in the bottom of the 6th. Shortstop number 22, Diego Villarreal.
Diego Villarreal steps up to the plate to face the lefty. The first pitch is just outside of the strike zone for ball 1. Dietrich looking to get the Tom Sox out of here early in this inning. The second pitch is also outside and a little low this time for ball 2. He will be on limited pitches today, Dietrich. He is playing in a showcase later on this week as his third pitch finds the zone for strike 1. 2-1 now your count. No outs on the board yet. Diego doesn't swing at that one, nor should he. The ball reaches way over the strike zone for ball 3. 3-1 now your count. 4-1 still your score here from Cho Airport Field. We thank you for joining us on YouTube or Facebook Live. We've had a great time calling this game. We hope you have had a good time watching it. Full now is the count, 3-2.
Tell you what, Dietrich is just going at super fast pace right now. Every time he gets the ball, he just puts his back foot right back on the rubber.
The payoff pitch leads to ball 4, so Diego Villarreal will walk his way to first base, and that brings up the next batter for the River Bandits, Barrett Eldridge, which is a player that if you're coming into your first real start at the mound, it's not somebody you want to face. 2 home runs in his last 2 games for the River Bandits, both of them being 3-run home runs. The first pitch is outside, and Cesari checks first base to make sure no one is going. But there's only one person on base, so that means that Barrett Eldridge can't hit a home run.
Yeah, he's only had 3-run home runs so far. Still a dangerous hitter.
The 1-0 from Dietrich is outside for ball 2.
Villarreal on first base, another one of those guys from Cameron University where he had a lot of experience. He hit 272 with 41 hits, also stole 6 bases, so it makes sense why Cesari keeps looking back at him after he takes the pitch.
The 2-0 fouled to the dugout. 2-1 now your count. Dietrich is on the board.
2-1.
The Tom Sox are still in this game despite being down 4-1. They haven't led. They haven't led in any of their games yet after a 9-1 thump last night against Harrisonburg. The 2-1 outside as Villarreal will take second. Talked about his stealing just a moment ago, an omen almost, as he takes second base.
Yeah, not a good time for the first pitch to really get by Cesari. It just popped out of his glove, but even if he caught it cleanly, I don't think he would have gotten Villarreal if he chose to throw. That ball was so outside, it threw off his momentum, and he just probably wouldn't have been able to get a good throw over to second.
So Villarreal now on second, and that is ball 4 from Dietrich, sending Eldridge to first base, and Cesari wants a word with his man on the mound.
Yeah, a lot of those pitches just missing outside, and you see Randy Tomlin walking out of the dugout. That might be it here for Dietrich. So not exactly the result he wanted, but this is just, it's part of the early season process, just getting the yips out, getting loose here. It's a long season, and we're only in game number 2.
Definitely some movement in the dugout for the Tom Sox, and as we did say, Dietrich is on limited pitches today. It could be as limited as how many he's thrown so far, only facing 2 batters.
Now, this visit has gone longer than I thought, so maybe he'll stay in for now. But Now the home plate umpire, Alvin Creedle, will walk up there to see what's going on.
Sometimes a pitcher's best trait has to be being convincing, and looks like that's what Dietrich was as Tomlin walks off the field, and Dietrich stays on the mound for your Tom Sox.
First offensive, Tyler.
Offensive timeout called.
Designated hitter, Nazir Mendez.
And Nazir Mendez steps up to the plate. Lefty on lefty action here as Dietrich faces off against the big man.
Still nobody out. You got to be careful here.
Mendez shows bunt, pulls away, and that'll be called ball one.
It's an unfortunate time to be facing a lefty, especially when Dietrich is missing into that lefty batter's box so far. He's got to get the ball over, especially if you don't want to hit Mendez, who's already been hit today.
Mendez hit at his last at-bat. Dietrich deals the 1-0, and it hits the bunt of Mendez. He'll throw it to first. Dietrich will, and get Mendez out for the first out of this inning, but not before Villarreal advances to third. So runners on third and second for the River Bandits as JT Andorowski
The right fielder
comes
from
up now.
DeSales, number 7,
Barrett Eldridge,
JT
the runner on
Andorowski.
second. But one out for the Tom Sox here in the top of the seventh. Dietrich finally gets on the board.
Now they're going to bring the infield in here.
Expecting something as there is two runners in scoring position. Swung on and hit to the foul left side, and it will go foul. One strike for Dietrich. 0-1 the count, one out on the board. The 0-1 from Dietrich. Infield still in close here. Strike two. Andorowski couldn't get his bat on it. 0-2 now the count. Dietrich finding his rhythm here.
Andorowski, an interesting guy. He's hit over 400 in 2 of his 3 seasons at DeSales. Last year he was all-conference first team. This year, past season in the spring, 331 average, 42 hits.
The 0-2 from Dietrich. Swung on and popped up to left field.
I got the tag, stay with it.
And the Tom Sox have got it as a runner comes home to home base. And Cesare gets him out. Ending the inning here. And 4-1 is still your score as Braden Weaver makes a great throw from left field all the way to Jesus Cesare at home plate. A bang-bang play, and that gets us to the middle of the 7th inning. Pitching change here for the River Bandits. In for them
Now
is
pitching
Griffin
for
Russell
Woodstock, a junior from
out of
Allegheny
Ellicott
Community
City,
College.
Maryland. Allegheny Community College. 14 games played for them last season. 5.46 ERA, including 23 strikeouts, but 24 bases by walk.
He can close the book on Hodges. 3 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 run, which was earned, but no walks and a strikeout. So they bring in another pitcher here. So Hodges gets across that 2-inning limit here, but now it's going to be a new pitcher versus a new hitter here for the Tom Sox and J.D. Wolf.
Yeah, J.D. Wolf, a really cool story, as he is the first serviceman to appear for the Tom Sox. He goes to Air Force Academy as the first pitch is a ball, low and away. It's always cool watching the national anthem and seeing him standing at ease, or in salute, my apologies, for the anthem. Not many times you see that, and especially not in Summer League Baseball, as the second pitch is inside the zone for Roussel. So 1-1 the count. Wolf trying to get on the board here. As the Tom Sox still trail 4-1, bottom of the 7th. The 1-1. Wolf hits it, fouls it back towards the parking lot. 1-2 now the count.
3, please. 1-2.
J.D. Wolf appeared yesterday. 1 strikeout, was not able to get on base, as the 1-2 moves to even, as we see another one from De Pacino. Goes over the pitcher and into center field.
He looked at the dugout, his dugout, after he airmailed it into center. Does he want his coach to throw it for him? I don't exactly know. Maybe it was a miscommunication. I'm not sure, but.
Well, while we wait for the pitch to come in, J.D. Wolf, fluent in Spanish as he lived in the Dominican Republic when he was 13. And that is going to be a full count. 3-2 now the count, as Roussel sails another one wide.
Yeah, Wolf, a guy who he's from Pennsylvania. He went to high school at IMG in Florida, but he also lived in the DR.
The payoff pitch, high and away, and Wolf will make his way to first base on walks.
Not to get too far away from it. I mean, the score is still 4-1. The Sox are still chasing 3 here, and so just any base runner you can get, it's going to be an addition here for the Sox, and they really need it here. They need to get multiple runs to win.
Cesare against the first pitch from Roussel is high and away for ball 1, as the umpire Alvin Cleary makes way with some of the dirt in the dugout. Way inside there from Roussel. Cesare had to step out of the way. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs. J.D. Wolf on base. Showing bunt again, and another ball. Roussel down 3-0 now in the count. The ball is in Cesare's court for sure, as Wolf leads a little bit. The pitch, Cesare stepped away. He knew that one was going to be a ball. 4-0 now the count, and that'll send Jesus Cesare to first base. Wolf to second. He is now in scoring position. The tying run comes to the plate.
That's going to draw a mound visit after back-to-back walks. But, yeah, Cesare with taking one out of David Ortiz's playbook, just kind of stepping out of the box. I think he would have been just fine if that ball was a strike. He wasn't going to swing anyway, but takes his free base. And then now Tom Sox have 1, 2, 3 coming up to the plate here with Langley, who represents the tying run.
Kyle Langley on the day today flew out in the first, struck out in the third, and flew out again in the 5th. He's looking to finally get his bat to ball as we play the waiting game with the music.
I really enjoy the Wee Me Shop waiting music here. This is a great addition to the soundtrack.
And especially in Summer League Baseball, an easy way to get into the opponent's head. Talk about home field advantage. As Kyle Langley makes his way to the plate, the lefty will bat against the righty pitcher Griffin Russell.
You know, some schools play Enter Sandman, some teams just play the Wii music, you know.
To each their own. One of 3 JMU players on the squad is Kyle Langley. He is, of course, the tying run as the Tom Sox trail 4-1 here. The first pitch, just in the zone for strike 1. Langley, a very patient hitter, likes to hit when he sees something that is favorable for him. 0-1 the count. Langley shows bunt. De Pestino checks first, and the count moves to 1-1. Kyle Langley, the 195-pound junior from Arlington, Virginia. Swing and hit into center field, and that's J.D. Wolf coming home. He will score. Cesari makes his way home. He will score. The Tom Sox trail by 1 thanks to a 2-run double RBI, courtesy of Kyle Langley. He finally got his bat to the ball, and look what happened.
This is what I thought Kyle Langley was going to be doing and what he will do for the Tom Sox. His bat to kind of just getting the bat to the ball and hitting line drives is something that he really did a good job of doing at JMU, and he slices this one into the left field corner, scores 2, and now he represents the tying run here in scoring position.
And that is going to be a hit by pitch from Griffin Russell, and it will send a Tom Sox hitter, Adonis Velez, to first base. So a runner in scoring position, a runner on first, and now that brings up Jackson Soroy with no outs. The Tom Sox, the leading run, is on first base. This is a huge turn of events.
Yeah, this was a weird play. So what happened was Velez showed bunt. This looked like an off-speed pitch that just backed up on the pitcher here, and Velez, because he was leaning into bunt, he had to just, hitters will kind of pull their bat back and take their front shoulder and lean in. Velez basically just had to turn around all the way, and he got clocked like almost right by his spine. So it hit him in the back. You could see him wincing. He probably wasn't very comfortable to get hit there, but it doesn't really change much for the pitcher because now you have the double play lined up, but looks like now Woodstock's going to go to the pen.
Yep, they bring a lefty to the mound now. So Woodstock changing up their rotation here. A new pitcher with Jackson Soroy on deck. It's going to be William Campo out of Loyola from Miami, Florida.
Left-hander number 25, William Campo.
Yeah, his numbers on the season for Loyola New Orleans, just over 6 innings pitched with an 8.10 ERA. He will inherit 2 runners here. This is a big spot. The Tom Sox, I mean, they haven't played in the lead at all this season. Yesterday versus Harrisonburg, they surrendered runs immediately, only could put up 1 in that entire game, but now this is their opportunity here at the heart of the order coming up, 3, 4, 5. Langley and Velez did their jobs, and Wolf before him and Cesari did their jobs as well. They came around to score. This is a huge spot here. And still nobody out.
Sorry. William Campo's favorite athlete is Paul Skeens. Can he inherit some of Skeens' ability and see the River Bandits way out of this inning as the Tom Sox have put up a 2 spot, bringing the score to 4-3 and no outs yet. Runners on first and second, and Jackson Soroy up to bat. Campo checking second. His first pitch. Soroy bunts, sending the second baseman to first, and that ball sails over the first baseman's head. And the Tom Sox will score 1, and they will get their second as well. They take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th, courtesy of another double RBI, with sending 2 runs home.
So let's see. I think because this was ruled out of play, Landon, they're going to send Velez back to third. But he's still standing there. He hasn't touched the bag. There's going to be a conversation as Randy Tomlin is going to call for time.
Kyle Langley absolutely made it home, though. The score will at least be tied. Velez having a conversation with the home plate umpire, and he will trail back to third. But what a play by Jackson Soroy, able to bunt and get his way to first as the ball sailed over the head of Barrett Elderidge. Soroy was able to make his way to second. So no outs, and the score will be tied 4-4.
Hitter, Patrick Nias.
Patrick Nias now up to bat. And he sends it into center field on the ground, and Velez will score. Soroy coming home. He will score. Courtesy of a Nihas RBI two-run double. Single, my apologies. He makes it to first base. So, no outs on the board. And the Tom Sox have put up a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 7th. They lead 6-4.
This is exactly what you can ask for. And how about Nias? This has to feel good now. 2 singles on the day, and no bigger than that one. Velez does end up scoring anyway. And what a turnaround. Tom Sox came into this inning down by 3. Now they're up by 2.
Hudson Luderman now up to bat. William Campo, not the start that he would want, as Luderman watches that pitch sail into the strike zone for strike 1. So 0-1 the count, no outs, but your Tom Sox now lead 6-4. Courtesy of 5 runs so far in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1 pitch from Campo coming up now. Not just yet. He will send it to first base as Nias was leading a little bit. 0-1, still the count.
Something that was kind of overlooked in this inning is just the defense from Woodstock has been a little bit sloppy. There's been missed throws and missed relays.
The 0-1, Luderman swings and hits it to the shortstop, who gets it to first, or second, and back to first for the double play. 2 outs. The River Bandits, as you were talking about their defense, looked pretty sharp there.
Just as I say that, the announcer's jinx never misses, but on the Soroy bunt single, that bunt he was going to be safe even if that was a clean throw. He sent it into right field. Then on the single from Nias, the relay got sent in kind of wayward of the first baseman who was standing close to the pitcher's mound. You have to clean those mistakes up if you're Woodstock.
Tanner Shadle now up to bat. He watches the first pitch sail into the strike zone for 0-1. 2 outs now on the board for the River Bandits. They're trying to escape what has turned into a monstrosity of an inning. 6-4 your score here in Charlottesville. Tom Sox leading. Strike 2 sails into the glove of De Pastino. William Campo up 0-2 in this at-bat against Tanner Shadle. Shadle so far today has reached twice, once on balls, once as a single. The third pitch of the at-bat sails into the backstop, not even close to his catcher. Shadle breathes a sigh of relief as he gets another chance to put his bat on the ball. The 1-2 from Campo. Tipped behind Shadle by his bat. The count stays 1-2.
That officially would end Roussell's outing. He goes 0+ innings with 1 hit, but 4 runs, all of them earned, and a pair of walks.
The 1-2 from Campo. Checked by Shadle into the ground of De Pastino, and the count moves to 2-2. Deuces running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 swung on and hit by Shadle into center field. Not able to make the catch as the left fielder, and Shadle stays at first. Toledo tried to come all the way to center field, but he was not able to make the diving attempt, and Shadle gets himself on base yet again, his 3rd time today.
Second single for Shadle. The hard contact, as apart from the Luderman home run, the extra base hits haven't really been there, but you're doing what you have to do to win if you're the Tom Sox, and they've almost batted around in this inning.
Jet Bristow up to bat now. The first pitch is high and away. Ball 1 from William Campo. Bristow today out on a double play, made it to first on a single, and then out on a putout last inning in the 6th. He makes contact but sends it foul. 1-1 now the count. 2 outs on the board for the River Bandits. Your Tom Sox lead 6-4 with Shadle at first base. Campo sets himself up, looks at his catcher, gets the pitch that he wants as he stares down Shadle and throws it over to first base just to make sure Shadle doesn't go anywhere. Bristow now waiting at home plate for the 1-1 pitch. The 1-1. Swing and a miss from Bristow moves the count to 1-2. Campo 1 strike away from ending this horrendous inning for the River Bandits. The 1-2 coming from Campo. He's looking at Shadle again. Decides to pitch. Bristow fouls it off towards the batting cage.
That foul ball is brought to you by Taylor's Auto Body.
And the count stays at 1-2. How cool of a name is Jet, by the way? Jet with 2 T's. I don't know if I've seen that before.
Yeah, with the 2 T's, that makes it unique, but that's a good name. It's a good baseball name, Jet Bristow.
The 1-2 to Jet is down and away into the ground. The count moves to 2-2 yet again. Deuces run wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a 2-run lead for your Charlottesville Tom Sox.
We saw it yesterday, too. The starter for Harrisonburg's first name was Cannon. I mean, that's just right on the nose.
You better be fast if you have a name like that. Jet. Ball 3 comes from William Campo. Full count now. (3-2) the count. As Campo sets himself up for the payoff pitch. Bristow readies himself on the mound, on the home plate. He swings and hits it. And the shortstop is able to pick it up, throws back to first, but not in time as Bristow. And Shadle's able to make it to third after realizing that the ball had been thrown to first. So runners on the corners for the Tom Sox, still 2 outs in this inning. 6-4 your score.
I would chalk it up as a single there for Bristow. Pretty similar to a ball that we saw earlier. Villarreal, not a very strong throw, but again, a really difficult play as he was really deep and short there. But now they've officially batted around here with Wolf coming up for his second at-bat of the inning, and he's got a chance to do some damage.
J.D. Wolf made it on bases by balls his last time in this inning. The first pitch to him, low and away for ball 1. So another runner in scoring position and Tanner Shadle at third base. You have Jet Bristow at first base. J.D. Wolf hitting for the Tom Sox. The 1-0. Tip behind home plate umpire. The count moves to 1-1.
But something that's really worked in the Tom Sox favor so far, apart from the caught stealing that we saw earlier in this game, Landon, the aggressive base running has been really good, especially when Woodstock hasn't really been super clean in the infield.
The 1-1. Check swing. And he deemed that J.D. Wolf did not swing. 2-1 the count. Campo just can't seem to get anything going here apart from the double play from his infielders. Pretty poor defense from the River Bandits. The 2-1. Right down the middle for strike 2. Yet again, Daniel, deuces run wild.
That's a tough pitch if you're Wolf. Lefty-lefty slider bending into the zone. You really have no choice but to take that.
The 2-2 pitch coming up here from Campo. Wolf swings and fouls it backwards into crowd territory, and it looks like it was caught by a fan. Sir in the gray shirt with a good catch. Maybe the Tom Sox will recruit him. 2-2 the count, 2 outs on the board. (6-4) still your score here as Campo readies the 2-2 pitch. He uncorks it. Wolf, check swing. And
I had a foul ball here.
the home plate umpire, Alvin, clearly calls a foul ball.
I think that got a piece of the umpire, too. As he's kind of walking it off, you can see him kind of craning his neck a bit. That was an awkward play. Wolf checked his swing. I thought maybe they would rule that he went on that. Then I thought it hit Wolf, but I think it hit his bat. So they'll
Jet Bristow thought it hit Wolf as well. He started making his way over to second base. So the 2-2 pitch yet again after the foul by Wolf. Down and away for a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs towards the Tom Sox, and 6-4 still your score from Cho Airport Field.
Bristow should be on the move here, so a ball in the gap should score him.
J.D. Wolf looking to bring some runs home here. The 3-2 pitch. Down and away for ball 4. Bases loaded yet again for Charlottesville. The only difference this time is that they're in front compared to being behind last time. They were chalked. And that brings up Jesus Cesari.
Jesus Cesari.
Got on base by balls last time out. A base by balls this time would bring home Tanner Shadle. 2 outs still. The Tom Sox working on their last one. The first pitch to Cesari coming up right now from William Campo. Right inside the strike zone for strike 1. 0-1 the count. You got to think Cesari will be aggressive here.
Yeah, he walked earlier in this inning, but he continues to find the zone. Cesari's going to swing.
The 0-1. Cesari does swing, but he pops it foul behind the batting cage. The count will move to 0-2.
I think so far a lesson to be taken away from these early games is just when the Tom Sox are more aggressive, that's when they've found success. So I expect Cesari to go down swinging here.
This is the first time this season that the Tom Sox have been in a lead after their loss last night to the Harrisonburg Turks. The pitch to Cesari is into the dirt for ball 1. So 1-2 the count now. Cesari in a bit of a hole, but nothing that he can't amount from. 2 outs still. We've been at 2 outs for almost 15 minutes now. The River Bandits aren't able to get out of the inning as Cesari pops another one foul. And the count will stay the same. 1-2. William Campo just hoping to get out of this inning without any more runs going for the Tom Sox. Already 5 here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2 the count. Cesari swings and hits it into center field and easily caught by Cunningham.
5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error.
You heard that. 5 runs on 5 hits there for the Tom Sox. They lead 6-4 as we head into the top of the 8th.
Woodstock 4.
new pitcher for the Tom Sox as we head into the top of the 8th. We have a number 32, a lefty, Dawson Newman from Coastal Carolina, a sophomore there, 6'2", 180 pounds, out of Chesapeake, Virginia. He made 1 appearance all freshman season, 1 strikeout, 4 bases by balls, 1 earned run, and a 13.5 ERA. Coastal Carolina doing pretty well for themselves this season.
Yeah, they're hosting a regional right now. They won the Sun Belt this season, and Newman did not have a huge part in that team, only pitching 2/3 of an inning, but he gets his first shot here in the Valley League in a big spot here now, defending a 2-run lead.
So Dawson Newman will face his first River Bandit. The 0-0 coming from Newman. Swung on, but fouled by the Woodstock hitter.
So there's a new catcher in the game for the Tom Sox. This is Kagan Costa in the game, who will catch for Newman entering the game newly as well.
The second pitch to Austin Ford from Dawson Newman.
Defensive changes for the Tom Sox.
Catch it, does not catch the strike zone, and it will be ball 1.
And doing the catching, number 6, Kagan Costa.
Kagan Costa now catching, as you just mentioned. J.D. Wolf also brings himself into the game as the second pitch sails high for ball 2.
Yeah, Wolf out in left field, replacing Braden Weaver, who didn't play left field too badly. He had that absolute hose out there to get the runner at home in the previous inning.
The fourth pitch of this at-bat is another ball from Dawson Newman. 3 balls, 1 strike towards Austin Ford. 6-4, still your score here. The Tom Sox leading after a 5 spot in the bottom of the 7th. That one will not be able to get the strike zone as Austin Ford jogs his way over to first base.
Catcher, Rocco
DePastino now, and his first at-bat of the game. He had a couple wild throws from the catching position that we saw last inning. Luckily, nobody was on base for them to pay off in any way, as Dawson goes to first to no avail. The first pitch to Rocco DePastino from Newman coming up right now. Not able to collect it is the catcher for the Tom Sox, Cesari. Newman now. The 1-0. Popped up into the air. That's going to sail into foul territory, moving the count to 1-1.
So interesting about this game is that through the first 4 or 5 innings or so, we were flying through. Yesterday's game kind of trudged along. It was probably just short of 3 hours, but now we're entering the 3rd hour, and we're moving a lot quicker than we were yesterday.
The count moves to 2-1 after Dawson Newman threw it low and away. Kagan Costa now, the catcher. My apologies. I said Cesari earlier, as DePastino's hitting into the shortstop position, and he's not able to corral it. And that will move DePastino to first and Austin Ford into second. Jackson Soroy unable to come up with the play there.
Hunter Miller.
Yeah, that's not a very well-timed error for Soroy, who is playing shortstop for the first time this season, playing any defensive position for the first time this season. And I don't know if they would have been able to turn 2, but they definitely would have gotten the lead runner forward. But now things get a little bit more difficult here with the go-ahead run up at the plate.
The first pitch to Hunter Miller is a ball. Hunter Miller from Southern Indiana, the Screaming Eagles. No errors in 2025 for Southern Indiana. He's from Fort Pierce, Florida. 33 games, 17 starts, a batting average of .317 as time is called. He appeared last night, didn't start, batted .500, including 2 RBIs and 1 hit, 1 base by balls. So he has a knack for getting on base as he shows bunt, but it sails foul. 1-1 now the count. No outs for the Tom Sox. Dawson Newman about to deal the 1-1, top of the 8th here. A big inning for the Tom Sox if they want to hold this lead.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And Miller kept his bunt too long, so that will be a strike. 1-2 now the count. Dawson Newman in a favorable position.
So now the corner infielders will move back here as Miller presumably will swing it.
The 1-2. Swung by Miller, but sailing foul just behind him and towards the Tom Sox dugout. The count stays. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter Miller, 15 RBIs and 17 starts with Southern Indiana. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitch coming to him now. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 3 from Hunter Miller. Dawson Newman able to get a K. 1 out for the Tom Sox.
It's a real impressive out from Newman, particularly against Miller, because in 63 at-bats this spring, he only struck out 6 times. So that's what happens when you are facing off against a guy who plays on a regional team. He's going to have that higher velocity than whatever he was seeing at Southern Indiana.
Luke Keister's first at-bat today. Coming up now, the second baseman. One the count. Newman dealing against Keister. We've now reached back to the top of the order for the River Bandits. The 1-1. Up high, and that will be called ball 2. 2-1, 1 out. 6-4 still your score here in Charlottesville. Dawson Newman wheeling and dealing for the Tom Sox late in this game. The 2-1 pitch. Yet again, high and above the strike zone for ball 3. Dawson Newman losing this battle at the moment.
I think if you're Dawson Newman, you have to let your confidence kind of guide you. I mean, this is a guy who plays at Coastal Carolina, one of the best programs in the country. A lot of these guys you're going against aren't even playing D1. Let your fastball run.
As he did just there, that catches the zone for strike 2. The count is full. The payoff pitch coming up now for Dawson Newman. The Chanticleer. My goodness, words are not flowing out of the mouth. The 3-2 from Newman. Not in the zone. That'll send Keister to first base, and the bases are now loaded for the River Bandits. So after quite an inning on the offensive side from the Tom Sox, the River Bandits look primed for a big inning as just 1 out.
Toledo.
And it brings up Christian Toledo out of Wayland Baptist. Struck out on his last at-bat. The first pitch is down and into the dirt. 2 strikeouts for Toledo on the day. 1 looking, 1 swinging. The 1-0 from Newman. Not inside enough as the count moves to 2-0. Again, the River Bandits have 3 men on base, 1, 2, 3, and Newman will take a visit to the mound from some of his coaching staff and players.
And Toledo's a guy in this game who's been 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts and some flyouts too, and so he does bat at the top of this order, so you know that the potential to hit the ball hard is there, but so far it has not been his day. I think if you're Newman, just got to find any way to get back in this one, down 2-0 in the count.
So Newman stays on the mound. Toledo will make his way back to home plate to face the 2-0 pitch. This is a big at-bat for both teams, as the River Bandits are looking to even the score. The Tom Sox are looking to maintain it. Right down the middle for strike one. A good pitch there from Dawson Newman. 2-1 now the count. Toledo still ahead in this count. He swings and hits it to the third base, and it's dropped. Oh, man. Hudson Luderman unable to make the throw, and that brings home a run for the River Bandits. An unfortunate error there from Hudson Luderman. And now the Tom Sox lead is cut to 1.
Well, the error from Soroy was badly timed, but this one is worse. This is a tough play. I think Luderman was going to go home with this one, but got to glove it cleanly.
Shortstop.
So Toledo makes his way to first base. De Pastino at third. Ford with that score there. 5-6 the score. The River Bandits trailing. Foul tip there by Villarreal. The count moves to 0-2. Dawson Newman looking to get the Tom Sox out of this inning at least tied. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Villarreal is retired by Newman. 2 outs on the board for the Tom Sox.
That is a big second out. And as much as you really don't want to face Eldridge in this inning, who's coming to the plate now, you'd much rather face him with 2 outs than with 1.
So, 2 outs on the board for the Tom Sox. The 0-0 to Eldridge finds the strike zone for the first strike of the at-bat. 0-1 the count. Over the last 4 seasons, the Tom Sox are 72-2 and leading after 7 innings. That is a pretty good record, as the second pitch does not find the strike zone. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. The only losses were on July 3rd last year at Covington, led 5-3 after 7, ended up losing 7-6 in 10 innings. And the year before that, as
Yes, he did.
that's Eldridge, and he did not check there, bringing up strike 2. 1-2 the count. The other time that the Tom Sox lost after leading after 7 innings was on July 10th, 2023 at Harrisonburg. They led 1-0 after 7 and ended up losing 2-1. So history is definitely on the side of the Tom Sox. 1-2 the count. Dawson popped up into the air. That's going back. It's going back, and it is caught by the right fielder, Bristow, and he will end the inning for the Tom Sox, still leading 6-5.
No hits. 2
Bottom of the 8th here in Charlottesville. The River Bandits were able to cut the Tom Sox lead in half, scoring 1 run and bringing the score to 6-5 in favor of the Charlottesville Tom Sox. Daniel, this has been a firecracker of a game the last couple innings.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Landon, but the first half of the game just kind of went super quickly. There was the big 3-run home run from Woodstock in the first inning, but otherwise it just kept going, and then it's really slowed down as Charlottesville is locked in offensively with that big 5 spot in the 7th.
And it started with Kyle Langley, and now he is up to bat yet again, a 2-run RBI double in the 7th inning. The first pitch to him, swung on and hit to deep right field, back at the wall, and it is out of here. Kyle Langley extends the Tom Sox lead to 2. 7-5, they lead now. Wow.
How about some lefty on lefty crime? Langley knew it. First pitch, hanging slider. He demolished that one. It's only 290 down the right field line. You could see him on our monitor flip the bat. He knew he got it immediately. That's not something he did very often at JMU, but with a smaller park here, he's got potential to do that. And that's a good insurance run, putting the lead for the Tom Sox back up to 2.
And now we have a mound meeting. William Campo has not had the best innings. He's pitched the last couple and let in 6 runs. And he will exit. So, the River Bandits looking for a pitcher that will keep them in this game at least, as Campo's first pitch went yard by Kyle Langley. It's going to be Connor Bryson for the River Bandits from Hendrix College out of Powell, Tennessee is where he lives. Played 11 games, started 3, an 0-3 record with a 15.63 ERA, 13 bases by balls, and 9 strikeouts in his freshman season.
Yeah, and right now the name of the game here for the Tom Sox, Landon, is just with how wild this game has been in the last couple innings, with how many walks and hit by pitches there's been, it's just running up the score as much as you can to ensure that whoever comes in the top of the 9th has as much insurance to work with as possible.
Well, Kyle Langley certainly helped with that. His solo home run extended the Tom Sox lead to 2. They now lead 7-5, no outs early on in this bottom of the 8th. At this point, the River Bandits will have one chance at the top of the 9th to get ahead on the scoreboard. But the way that their offense has been going, it looks increasingly unlikely. 3-run home run in the first inning, courtesy of Barrett Eldridge. And after that, they've had 2 innings with 1 run, but the rest scoreless. The Tom Sox almost opposite. Got a run in off a solo home run from Hudson Luderman in the bottom of the 4th. Then a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 7th, and now Kyle Langley's home run in the bottom of the 8th to start us off. Due up for the Tom Sox is Adonis Velez. Last at bat, he was hit by William Campo's pitch. That one really got him. I remember him jumping up and down and in some agony. But here he comes up to the home plate mound, into the righty's batter box.
You
talk about a guy who feels due. All of his hits so far have been into the outfield. He's flown out a couple times. He had that hard single into left field in the 2nd. He had that fly ball that went foul that looked like it went 400 feet the other way. And so we'll see if he gets aggressive here at the plate.
The first pitch to Velez is low and away for ball 1. Connor Bryson, as aforementioned, from Hendrix College, gets his first game time here in the Valley Baseball League. The 1-0 from Bryson. Gets into the strike zone. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 from Bryson. above the strike zone for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Velez is ahead. Smart batting here from Adonis Velez, just waiting for the right pitch. The 2-1 from Bryson. Swung on, popped up to the shortstop. Easily caught there by Villarreal. And he retires Adonis Velez. Up comes Jackson Soroy, the hometown hero.
Jackson Soroy.
His last at bat was a RBI double. Seemed like everybody was getting in on the RBI party last inning. 1 out for the River Bandits. The first pitch to Soroy. Tags the zone for strike 1. Connor Bryson able to deal a little bit better than Campo was last inning in the beginning of this one. Trying to get the River Bandits out with a chance. The 0-1. Right down the middle, but a bit high, as that does not catch the zone and will lead to ball 1. 1-1 the count. 1 out on the board. 7-5 your score here. Tom Sox leading. The 1-1. Inside on Soroy, and that'll count for ball 2. 2-1 the count. 1 out on the board. Connor Bryson seems in control. We'll look to even up this count here. The 2-1. Swung and hit to Villarreal. He throws back to first, but not in time. Soroy able to get a single. The Tom Sox are on base.
It's maybe the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a ball get hit to either Tippett or Villarreal, kind of on that left side of where the shortstop plays. And Villarreal hasn't had many inaccurate throws or weak throws, but these are just tough plays that any shortstop would have to make.
Patrick Nihas now up. 1 out still for the River Bandits. The first pitch is high and almost nailed Nihas in the face. 1 ball. Nihas last inning, a 2-run RBI single. The 1-0 from Bryson doesn't come. He checks Soroy and throws the first. Soroy was close enough to get back to the bag. Count stays 1-0. Bryson deals. Down and inside the zone for a 1-1 count. One thing that we have seen is Dave Pastino hasn't thrown it over to the pitcher yet.
Yeah, luckily his accuracy has been there when the runner's on base, but you can see him, he really whips the ball back to the pitcher. He's not really lobbing it in like a lot of catchers do, maybe to preserve their arm for when a runner steals. He gets that ball, takes it out of his glove, and just throws it straight at the pitcher.
Part of it could be William Campo is 5'10". Connor Bryson does look a bit taller. Maybe he just wasn't used to the size difference as Soroy goes to second, and he's going to be out. A good throw there from Dave Pastino over to Luke Keister, and Soroy is retired. 2-1 the count, as the ball did go low, but Dave Pastino with a witty play.
Yeah, it's now 2 caught stealings on the day. I said earlier their aggressiveness on the bases has benefited them in this game for the Tom Sox. It definitely still has, but it's been really tough to swipe second here today.
The 2-1 to Nias. Can't catch the zone. 3-1 now the count. Nias a ball away from getting on base. He got on base by balls earlier on in the second inning. Looking to recreate history here. The 3-1 from Bryson. Swing and a miss. That brings up strike 2, and the count is full.
3-2, fellas. Here we go.
So a full count. The payoff pitch coming here from Bryson with 2 outs on the board. Here it is. Not close enough, and that'll send Nias to first base. Yet again, base by balls for Patrick Nias.
Been really impressed with Nias' work in this game so far. He's got a couple of walks and a couple of singles, and you know, a guy hitting in the 4-spot cleanup, you want to see more extra base hits, you want to see more hard contact, but especially after the tough game he had yesterday, this is a really good performance here.
Hudson Luderman now up to bat. The first pitch to him, popped up into the air. Tracking back is the second baseman, and he makes the grab. Keister able to close out the inning, but the Tom Sox still lead 7-5, looking to close out the game in the top of the 9th after this. Pitching change here for the Tom Sox, bringing in Alex Bingler, the sophomore from James Madison University, but grew up in Charlottesville, Virginia, so a hometown hero, prepped for a save.
Yeah, this is a guy who is familiar with the Tom Sox. He was on the roster for last season. He didn't end up playing, but still he goes to school just a couple hours away in James Madison, and where he worked 13 innings out of the pen with an ERA just under 8, but held his batters to a 224 average. He's got a tough part of the order here, facing 5, 6, 7, but this is a save situation here, and it starts off with the lefty-lefty matchup with Nazir Mendez.
The big man from Eastern Kentucky University trying to jumpstart a comeback for the River Bandits. What will Alex Bingler have to say about that? His first pitch. Foul tipped by Mendez. 0-1 the count.
Got to see Bingler when he played Maryland at JMU, and he's a guy who's not going to blow you away with high velocity, but his command and off-speed pitch difference is really something that struck.
0-1 from Bingler, and he goes. Mendez cycled. The 0-2 now coming up for Bingler. He's doing exactly what he needs to, put the ball in the strike zone. 7-5 your score. Tom Sox still lead. The 0-2 popped up into the air and drops, but they can't make the play. And Mendez will stay at first, but Luderman tried to throw it to first baseman Shadle, but he was unable to make the catch, and Nazir Mendez will have a single.
Be interested to see how they rule this. I think I would call this a single, but it's one of those situations where you got 3 players, the pitcher and the 2 infielders, I think off the bat, it's probably Bingler's ball, but one of the infielders, if they have a beat on it, they got to call him off earlier.
So JT Andorowski at the home plate. Strike one on the first pitch from Bingler. Andorowski is the tying run with Mendez at first base. The 0-1 from Bingler. Down and away for 1-1. Can JT Andorowski bring the River Bandits level here? The 1-1. Popped up into the air. That's coming to center field, and an easy catch is made by Langley. One down, 2 to go for the Tom Sox if they want to get out of here with their first W of the season. Mendez stays at first base.
Third baseman, Austin Ford.
Austin Ford up to bat for Woodstock. Last time out, got on bases by balls. 1 out for Bingler here. The first pitch, swing and a miss. Ford unable to connect. 0-1 the count. Austin Ford a long way from home. The 0-1 inside and down for a ball. 1-1 the count, 1 out on the board, 1 runner on base. Ford now the tying run at home. The 1-1 from Bingler. Outside just a little bit, 2-1 now the count. Bingler being patient with his pitches. Has dealt some good stuff in his early time on the mound. The 2-1.
Good to go.
And they deemed that Austin Ford went 2-2 the count. Bingler is 1 strike away from retiring his second.
That was a late appeal from home plate umpire Alvin Creedle, but Sox catch a break.
The 2-2 from Bingler. Down and going down for a 3-2 count. Full count here, top of the 9th. 1 out on the board for the Tom Sox. Again, 2 outs away from their first win of the season. The 3-2 from Bingler. Inside, and that's going to go for ball 4. And it'll advance Mendez to second base. Ford goes to first, and it's going to bring up De Pastino. The leading run is at home base. The tying run is at first.
Catcher, Rocco DiPastino.
And the Sox infield has not been as clean as they would have hoped, but a ground ball could still end this game.
Good defense from the Tom Sox in the middle of the game. Some shaky stuff here in the 7th and now the 9th. But 1 out on the board. And Bingler on the mound, dealing to De Pastino. His first pitch. Swung on and hit to left field. That's going to drop in. Mendez is going to stay at third. The bases are going to be chock full. And now the tying run is in scoring position. As we hear some chants from the crowd encouraging Alex Bingler.
That was a good relay by Wolf out there and left. I think if it's anyone other than Mendez on third, he scores on that play. But because Mendez is out there, now the bases are loaded. But again, it's a force at all bases. So the infielders have to be ready.
Bases loaded here. The first pitch is in the strike zone. 0-1 now the count. As Hunter Miller steps up to the plate. And he swings and misses on that one. 0-2 now the count. Quick work here for Alex Bingler, trying to retire Hunter Miller.
This is where all the lefties that the Tom Sox have come into play. Miller faced another lefty, Newman, last time.
The 0-2 turns into an 0-3 as Miller swings and misses. 2 to the good are the Tom Sox, and that brings up Luke Keister for potentially the last out of the game again. The River Bandits' tying run is at second base. A leading run is at first base. With the bases loaded here for Woodstock. Pressure moment for Alex Bingler on the mound. The 0-0. Swung on and hit down the right foul line. Brings home Mendez. Here comes the tying run. And Dave Pastino decides to go. And he's going to score. Oh, man. A 3-run RBI double sees the River Bandits take a 1-run lead here in the top of the 9th. That ball barely caught the right foul line. Just enough for the River Bandits to take advantage and bring home 3.
That is just a heartbreaker. This ball was hit. I'm not sure if Shadell had a real chance at fielding that one cleanly, but it's weak contact, and that's just unlucky. But again, the relay came in towards not where it should be. That ball should not be at shortstop or third base. That has to be on the right side of the infield, and because of that, the leading run came home.
The first pitch from Bingler to Toledo sails a bit high, and that's going to be 1 ball. So the River Bandits have come all the way back, and they lead 8-7. The 1-0 from Bingler is inside and going to be strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Toledo, his last at-bat was a strikeout. Keister is leading from second base. The 1-1 is a swing and a miss from Toledo. 1-2 now the count. We've seen it before. Toledo striking out 2 times already. Will this one be the third? It would be a huge strikeout for Bingler to get the Tom Sox out of this inning, trailing by 1. With a runner in scoring position and Luke Keister at second. Bingler, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Retiring Toledo and sending the Tom Sox into the bottom of the 9th, down 8-7 to the Woodstock River Bandits.
Bottom of the 9th, Woodstock leads 8.
A pitching change for the Tom Sox. Christian Toledo, after striking out to end that top of the ninth, he looks to deal some of his own as he takes the mound. First up against Tanner Stradle. So, the Tom Sox trail by 1 heading into this bottom of the ninth. They're down 8-7 to the Woodstock River Bandits. The first pitch from Toledo. High and above the zone for ball 1. A 3-run RBI double from Luke Kiesler was what put the River Bandits up a run. Toledo's second pitch, same as the first. High and away for ball 2. Tanner Stradle has singled in his last 2 at-bats, looking to do something similar here. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Stradle. The count moves to 2-1. Going to need some aggressive batting here from Stradle and the rest of the Tom Sox lineup if they want to have a walk-off. The 2-1. Swing and a miss again. Stradle brings the count to 2-2.
Well, there's the off speed. We only saw fastballs before. So now if you're Stradle, you just got to protect.
The 2-2 coming up here from Toledo. Swing and a miss. Or I guess they deemed that Stradle got his bat on it and ends a fair play, but nonetheless, the first out of the inning comes at first base.
Right fielder, Jet Bristow.
Jet Bristow, yeah.
Yeah, drop third. Strike there is just really good off speed. And Sox are not out of it. They just need a runner on here, because that would represent the tying run.
Jet Bristow singled in his last at-bat, facing off against Toledo now. His first pitch, high and away. Ball 1. Same thing that we saw for the first 2 pitches of the last at-bat. Jet looking to fly his ball into the outfield here. The 1-0. Down and low into the catcher's glove. Dave Pastino with safe hands. 2-0 the count. Dave Pastino asked to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, and this is what we saw in Stradle's at bat. He got out ahead 2-0 and then swung through that fastball that was over the zone. So if you're Bristow, you got to get your timing in order, because if he comes with that fastball again, it's likely going to be in the heart of the zone. You got to be ready for it.
So 2-0 the count. Bristow looking to put his bat to ball here. Toledo dealing. The 2-0 pitch. High and away, nearly catching Bristow yet again. And Toledo has dug himself quite a hole that he will have to climb out of here. 3-0 the count with 1 out on the board. Right down the middle for strike 1. Bristow calmly taking that one just to see what Toledo is handing him. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up way into the air. Dave Pastino thinks that he can get to it maybe, but no. That ball sails well over the batting cage for a full count. Toledo has climbed a bit out of the hole. He sees the top. Will he be able to make it out? That is the question. The payoff pitch coming up now from Toledo to Jet Bristow, the incoming freshman at UVA. The payoff. Popped up into the air, and yet again behind the batting cage. We'll have a redo.
That ball is brought to you by Taylor's Auto Body.
Toledo versus Bristow yet again. The payoff pitch from Chris Toledo for the River Bandits. Bristow puts his bat to ball, gets it to the second baseman who throws it to Mendez, and that's the second out of the bottom of the ninth. The River Bandits are 2 to the good here at Cho Airport Field.
Left fielder, J.D. Wolf.
J.D. Wolf now batting for the Tom Sox, was able to reach on balls last time out. What will Toledo deal to him? The first pitch, low and away, ball 1. J.D. Wolf out of Air Force. The 1-0 pitch coming to him now. He checks, didn't go, ball 2. So 2 outs on the board. The Tom Sox need something here. They are down to their last out. The 2-0 from Toledo. Just looking at it is Wolf, and he looked at a strike. 2-1 now the count. 2 outs on the board. J.D. Wolf against Toledo, the 2-1. Wolf looks again, looks at another strike. Deuce is running wild. 2-2 the count, 2 outs on the board.
I think now if you're Wolf, you're thinking about the heater here. You got 2 straight sliders.
The 2-2 from Toledo. Popped up over the pitcher. Wolf not able to get to first in time. Safely caught by Mendez, and that ends the game. The Tom Sox fall to the Woodstock River Bandits 8-7.
Final score, Woodstock 8.
An unfortunate loss for the Tom Sox after such a great, promising 7th inning when they put up 5 runs, Daniel. Not able to close it out in the end.
Yeah, this one's going to sting. I mean, just the defensive miscues. The River Bandits were getting him too, but especially late in the game, you have to shore up your fielding. And again, this is so early in the season, and a lot of guys who haven't played very often, you know, there's going to be some rust. But being 1 out away from the win and not being able to slam the door is really going to be something that sticks with these players as the season progresses.
The season's still early, as Charlottesville will move to 0-2. Woodstock moves to 2-0. And that'll be all from Cho Airport Field. Your final score, Woodstock River Bandits.
Your Tom Sox will be back at home Wednesday, June 4th at 7 p.m. against the Front Royal Cardinals. Join us for a night that's sure to be out of this galaxy as we have Star Wars night.
So Connor Bryson will get the win. Bingler will get the loss. Toledo with a save. And that's going to do it here from Cho Airport Field. The Tom Sox will be back in action midweek and hoping to get their first win of the season.
Tom Sox family, please help us by depositing.